It's fast.
You gotta get a set of plan. I wanna look at it one more
Yeah.
time. Get it in front of you, look at it.
So I
We
will
rolling?
call all of them.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to the Village of Webberville Council meeting. Today is August 25th, 2025. We'll begin with a roll call.
McEwen?
Here.
Schomburg? Here. Stanfield? Here. Walter? Here. Schultz?
Here. Everybody please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. For approval of the agenda tonight.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that brings us into public comment. So if anybody has,
How long should it take to get the video of a previous meeting posted on the website?
Val?
That's it, I just want to know why it's not posted the next day. There's no editing that should be done to it.
Thank you. Anybody else for public comment?
Good evening, John Leonard. Mr. President, I came to a meeting a couple months ago, and I see on the agenda the probationary period for Carolyn Crandall is going to be discussed tonight. When I came to you at that time, when she was a candidate, I asked you a question that was there any concern of impropriety or some type of something that should be taken a look at? Would she be a concern, maybe over a relationship? And I asked if it was current or future in a relationship or family relationship, something that could cause some concern. Your answer was no, and my concern was with that position of what she does as far as document signing, funds, signatures, in a relationship with, and correct me if I'm wrong, but is there a relationship between the deputy clerk treasurer, secretary? Is there a family member that is employed with the DDA chair in his business? If that is so, I've got a real concern about issue of, again, impropriety, concern about just something that could cause problems down the road. So I would like to know if there is a family member employed by Josh Rocky, his business, and if she does have a family member that is currently employed. I'm concerned.
Anybody else for public comment? Okay, so we'll move on to comments from the president. So regarding how long it takes for a video to post, I'm not sure that we have a set rule for that. I don't know why that wasn't posted since the last meeting was conducted. Certainly look into it and try to get better about that. Question regarding any sort of relationship from our deputy clerk treasurer to anybody on the council or DDA, there is none. There's no relationships legally or personally.
Excuse me, isn't Carolyn Crandall Spencer's mother?
So that's,
A relationship. That's a relationship.
your point.
You just said there was no relationship. I'm trying to understand that. What is your definition of relationship?
I believe the question was it was related to DDA.
Z Solutions, Josh Rocky's DDA.
Z Solutions has nothing to do with the DDA.
Josh Rocky is the chair.
And he owns Z Solutions, does he not?
He does, you're conflating a private business with the village.
He's the head of the DDA.
Look, we need to move on. So,
So there is a conflict of interest, Sam.
would you like to suggest where the conflict exists?
She, I got one. I got an email last week, correcting the correct dates for our meetings, Sandra's term, my term. On the email, it had Jessica's name, and this was from Mrs. Crandall. I fully will expect it, Jesse's name on it, but then it had Josh Rocky's name on it. I expected your name to be on there, being village president. Why Josh Rocky?
Because Z Solutions controls our website. They provide website services for us. So to update those things that
Either
you request.
Jessica or Carolyn cannot update our websites?
No.
They can't.
No.
They have no access to that.
No, that has to go to our IT provider who does our website for us.
I'd like to see that contract.
You have voted on that contract.
I want to refresh my memory on that contract.
Okay,
We could ask Josh
so
Rocky
we need to
if
move
there
on.
is
We've
an
gone
employee,
beyond
if
public
there's
comment,
an
sir.
employee
Is there,
that
is there
a
approval
family
for the
member
consent
of
agenda?
the employee.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
All in favor, say aye. I'm sorry, roll call on that.
Wakeman,
Here.
Schoenberg,
Yes.
Stanfield,
Yes.
Walter,
No,
Schulte.
Yes. Okay, so we'll move on to our reports tonight. So first up, we have the 2024-2025 audit presentation report from Gabriel. So you were on the agenda already, I missed it.
I am Alyssa Horner and I was on the audit team. And if you have the audits in front of you, I can just go through it real quick. So the first couple pages are the independent auditor's report, and our opinion was an unmodified opinion, which is the highest level. So you guys did good. We didn't have any issues with controls or non-compliance or anything. And the next section is the management's discussion and analysis. There are a couple of financial highlights. The fund balance across all governmental funds was about $713,000, which was an increase of about $126,000. And that's wonderful too. For the general fund specifically, the fund balance was $438,000, which was an increase of about $30,000. And of that, about $145,000 was unassigned fund balance, which means it's not restricted for any projects or any specific expenditures. And that's all good as well. On page 8, there is the statement of net position comparison, so you can see 2025 compared to 2024. And some of the notable changes is that cash increased by about $748,000, which closely follows the change in net position, less the capital outlay expenditures, which you can see more details later in the audit in the notes. And then capital assets also increased by $477,000 from current road projects, and the accrued liabilities increased by about $120,000 from the timing of tax payments. And then if you look at the next page, it is the changes in that position. Some of the notable changes there is that capital grants decreased by about $375,000, since in 2024 there was a one-time MDOT grant related to roads that was received. And the public safety expenses increased related to the Ingham County Sheriff contract. And then if you look at page 11, you can see the breakout between the governmental revenues and the governmental expenses. It can just be helpful to see where most of the village's money comes from and how it's allocated. It looks like the highest percentage goes to public works. And then after that is the basic fund statements for the next and they're like 10 pages. Some of those we just went over. The first two, the statement of net position and the statement of activities, are both shown on the management discussion and analysis. And then after that is the notes to the financial statements, so you can see more specific details about some of the policies and some of the different accounts, like the capital assets and the long-term debt. And there is also the required supplementary information after that, so you can see a budget to actual comparison starting on page 45. And this is just for the major funds. And there's also the required supplementary information for the pension, so you can see different things about contributions and other numbers related to that. And the supplementary information after that shows the non-major funds broken out. And that goes through kind of the whole report. Would you have any questions that I can try to answer?
I do not have any questions. I appreciate all the work that went into this. When you come in this evening, does the council have any questions on the audit? No. It looks great.
Cool. That's easy.
Is that all you have for us this evening?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, perfect. Well, if there's no other questions, again, thank you. And we'll move on. There is no attorney report this evening, but that brings us to engineer reports. Bruce, I don't know if you have anything?
I don't, unless you wanted me to mention your discussions with the drugstore owner.
Yeah, since you brought it up, I don't know if you want to speak to it or the issue at hand, rather.
Yeah, well, the issue is that we're repaving the parking lot across the street, and about half of it sits on the drugstore parcel. And so the question was, is there any sort of agreement between the drugstore owner and the village for maintenance? And would they be participating in repaving that lot with the rest of it? And so we did a title search on the property, and we didn't find anything in the public record related to any kind of agreement. But Mr. Schulte had a discussion with the property owner, and he related that there was somewhat of an agreement, might have only been verbal, I don't know that he produced a copy of it, that the drugstore owner would allow the public to park in there as, you know, as they need to, or in exchange for the township maintaining the parking lot. I mean, the village, I'm sorry. So the thought is that we would maybe actually produce an agreement to that effect and then record it so that it's in the public record. And the thought would be that the village would, you know, essentially pay for his portion of the repaving as part of the maintenance of that parking lot. And I understand that the snow is cleared from that lot as well regularly, which makes sense.
Yeah,
So
no, it's a great synopsis.
I think it's a net benefit to the village, because I don't think that his customers come close to using the number of parking spaces that he has, so those are available for the public.
No, and he was an extremely nice gentleman over the phone. I mean, he offered up the information, the fact that for the 13 or 14 years that he's owned that there's been a verbal agreement that it's public parking, and he wishes to continue to do so. So I've informed both Bruce and Scott, so hopefully next council meeting there's a draft agreement that the council can approve and then give to the property owner for final approval. So basically, it's just gonna continue putting on paper, formally addressing it, that continue the way it's been treated for the past 2 decades. Nothing fancy.
Yeah. So that's all I have to report today.
Okay. Any questions from the council for Bruce?
No.
Thank you, Bruce.
Yep.
Any advocate reports? Seeing none, so we will move into our new business. First up is Carolyn Crandall. Her probation period is now over. Ends August 31st. Are we passing a resolution on this or just recognizing it?
Or you have to vote on it too.
Oh, we do have to vote on it? Yep, so, I think Carolyn's done a fantastic job. I think any council members have gone into the office, the amount of records keeping that we've been able to now catch up on, and I would say the general feedback from the public has been very positive. So I recommend that we approve Carolyn Crandall's probation period, which ends August 31st, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
We'll do a roll call.
McEwen?
Yes.
Schoenberg?
Yes.
Stanfield?
Yes.
Walter?
No.
Schulte?
Yes. Okay. On to item number 2, which is updating the sick time in our handbook. So this really stems from an organization or another acronym, ESTA. So this is really just trying to keep in line with some of the new regulations coming from the state. I know that there were some questions from Scott about our current policy and how that aligns with these updates from the state. So Jessica, I know you've talked to Scott more about this. Do you have anything else to say about it?
Yeah, pretty much, so the state of Michigan came up with a new sick time law. Everybody has to conform to the new laws by October 1st, and it has to be in our handbook. So Scott and I are working on building this so that we're in line with what they are wanting us to do. So this is kind of like, take home, look it over, make notes, let us know at the next meeting what you think. We did have a couple questions, and I included that email in there also so that you could look at that and see what you thought would be best. That's pretty much what it is.
So basically what you're saying is this is gonna be tabled until the next meeting?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it to your guys' attention so that you can look it over and make the best educated decision possible.
Yep, and everybody should have that email with yes to update, right?
Yep.
Yep.
What's the next meeting, Jeff?
September 9th.
Okay, so nothing to vote on, but any questions about this? Okay. We will move on to item number 3. So at our last meeting, we approved purchasing the Ventrac slope mower and snow removal equipment. Therefore, basically making the current slope mower, the Dewey's, surplus equipment that's no longer needed. There is a offer from the city of Lanesburg to purchase the Dewey's for $15,000, which will definitely help with the purchase of the Ventrac equipment. So really, this resolution is to just officially recognize that this asset is considered surplus, it's no longer needed, and that we will be selling this to the city of Lanesburg for $15,000. So I recommend that we approve resolution 2025-12, declaring the Dewey's mower as surplus and authorizing the sale.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, any questions?
Thought we did this 2 weeks ago.
No.
Okay.
Roll
I know
call.
we talked about it.
We talked about doing it, but we didn't have an offer from the city of Lanesburg. So roll call.
McEwen?
Yes.
Schoenberg?
Yes.
Stanfield?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Schulte?
Yes. Okay, next up is item number 4. So this is for a substitute crossing guard, hiring a substitute crossing guard. So this person comes recommended from Carrie, who is our current crossing guard. stellar recommendation. I've spoken to Marjorie personally. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here this evening due to a conflict. So it's really a council decision if we are comfortable hiring this person this evening without them present. We can always table it to the next meeting if you prefer. I think she's an excellent candidate, but it's whether or not the council feels comfortable voting.
Who is it?
Name is Marjorie Brown.
Marjorie Brown?
I also have a question, so this would just be substituting, the current crossing guard
Yes.
if she has an inability to?
Yep, so if Carrie needs to take vacation, has a conflict, just needs a little bit extra help, then this person Marjorie would be able to fill in.
Okay.
So the village pays the crosswalk, not the school?
Yep.
Okay.
It's been that way for quite some time, we found when we were
It goes
reading
back
downstairs.
to the 40s. So is this something that the council feels comfortable voting on this evening, or would we rather table this?
Do these
I,
people have to pass a background check?
My recommendation would be pending a successful background check,
Okay.
per typical employment standards.
I'm okay with it. I mean, she's just gonna be a substitute,
Yeah.
so it's not a full-time.
Yep,
And it is very difficult to find somebody that is willing to be
Last
a
minute.
crossing guard or even a substitute. And if it comes recommended from, she's recommended from Carrie, we've had Carrie for quite some time
Yeah.
now.
Mhm.
okay. So then I recommend that we approve hiring Marjorie Brown as a crossing guard substitute with an hourly rate of $13.29, pending background check.
So moved.
Second.
We'll do a roll call?
McEwen,
Yes.
Schoenberg,
Yes.
Stanfield,
Yes.
Walter,
Yes.
Schulte.
Yes. Okay, brings us to item number 5, which is the current crossing guard. So, in order to keep things kind of in line here, realizing that Carrie has done a fantastic job over the past few years, I would recommend to the council that we approve increasing the pay for Carrie Small Canfield to $15 an hour effective August 18th.
So moved.
Second.
What is she at now?
I believe it's 12.48. I believe it's minimum. All right, so we'll do a roll call.
McEwen,
Yes.
Schoenberg,
Yes.
Stanfield,
Yes.
Walter,
Yes.
Schulte.
Yes. Okay. Brings us to the last item on this evening's agenda, which is the proposed lot boundary adjustment for 306 West Grand River Avenue. So I'll hand this over to Ian. Ethan, I'm sorry.
It's all right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ethan Walthorn with McKenna. Emily was planning on being here tonight, but she had a family emergency, so she couldn't make it. For our lot boundary adjustment tonight for 306 West Grand River Avenue, this is a parcel that is in the Village Core Zone, right along, Grand River Avenue, of course. The proposal is to have a, I believe, 82.5-foot wide by 69-foot section of the large parcel to its northwest, which is zoned R1A, that portion to be added onto the VC zoned parcel. So one point of discussion that we recommend the village council discuss is because both of these parcels are of different zoning districts, typically we would recommend either having it as one zoning district or the other. However, in this situation, it might be beneficial to have a split zoning in this aspect because the proposed portion that is to be added onto the village core zoned parcel is directly behind another village core parcel. It's right along Grand River Avenue. So the thought process is if it were to remain R1A, but rear portion, it wouldn't allow the possibility of, say, like an apartment complex or something being ultimately added to that village core parcel. So ultimately, we recommend that you guys kind of discuss whether or not you think that that split zoning would be appropriate for the situation, or if you would prefer to keep it as one parcel, one zoning district or the other.
So you're saying if it, the current parcel, along Grand River is village core,
Village core, yep.
and if the, we'll call it that additional property also becomes VC, it would potentially allow them to put an apartment building or some sort of.
Yeah, like if,
Okay.
obviously it would have to have the existing structure be taken out and everything, but it could theoretically, you could have like a park or some sort of apartment complex be put on there because it is in the VC district. So the thought process is if you leave that section as the R1A district, then it doesn't allow those kinds of things, so it would still be kind of more of just an open space, backyard kind of area.
From a, I guess, a homeowner perspective, is there any disadvantage or benefit of, say, village core versus R1A for, you know, typical homeowner use, like putting up a fence or an accessory structure?
Not off the top of my head. However, that could be something that we could do a little further analysis on if you'd like.
'Cause I mean, that's what I'd also be curious to know what the homeowner would prefer.
Fair, yeah. It's valid.
What brought this lot split up? A homeowner or?
So my understanding is that they want to purchase this additional area from neighboring property, so they have a larger
Yep.
Makes sense.
yard for their dog.
Yep.
Okay.
So I don't anticipate them to be trying to build an apartment complex,
But you never know.
I'm curious to know what the rest of the council thinks in terms of split zoning versus combining it.
I would like to know what they would like it zoned as too. I mean, they may want it for one thing, but if we put it as one thing and then they sell the home later on,
Mhm.
I don't see where it's even buildable, you know, with the house that's on there, it's landlocked, I mean, there's no place to put an additional road to, let's say they were to split it at the back of their garage, to make that piece back there one, it's not a buildable site, there's no access to it, so I don't think that's a concern or a worry. Like I said, without demo and everything that's there and starting over. So building on it, I don't see anything happening.
I mean, they probably could, I mean, if they extended the drive to the west, to the back, and in fact, the village core basically has no setbacks.
The drive to the west,
Yeah, is that, it looks like their driveway on the west side of the property. Yeah.
Also start sloping down into that pond that's back in there.
True. Yeah, it is not a topographical.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's like a park back in there.
Yeah, it was interesting that parcel that's to the northwest, it doesn't have an address to it, but it looks like there are structures on it, so I wasn't sure if it was some private use or a park or something.
It's just a large lot.
just private use, they've had to maintain that pond for years.
Mm-hmm.
It looks nice.
Is there any, if it were to all be made VC, is there anything about that property then that would be non-conforming to that zoning?
Nope. No, they would comply either way.
Hmm.
It's just basically whether or not, you think it would be okay to have such an intense use directly behind this neighboring parcel is kind of the big concern.
I still think, I'd like to hear from the homeowners what they would like to see with it. I mean, there's also the fact that the council's burdened with protecting the future of the village and what we would like to see as well, so I don't know if there's any discussion about that aspect.
I would say probably contact the homeowner first and then go from there, see what.
Okay. That work for you?
Can do.
Perfect, so
Table until next meeting.
we'll just table that one, and we'll vote on. So that brings us to the end of our new business, brings us to our second public comment section at 6:29. Sir.
John Leonard again, good evening. August 7th, I came to the village and I requested through FOIA accounts receivable, accounts payable for the last quarter, up to and including the date that I applied for this information. And I thank the village, it was supplied to me. But keeping in mind that what I requested has been public record, has been approved by the council, and has been paid to the attorney for his services. Okay, that's not really an issue that I have, I mean, that's procedure. But what I got in this information was a couple pages of redactment. Again, this being public record, approved by the council, paid for, and the redaction, from what I understand, is I came in to pick it up, because at first I was told it was ready, and the first time I came to the village, it's not ready, they're gonna be sending it to the attorney. And I said, send it to the attorney for what? Well, he's gonna review it. So what I got was a couple pages of redactment and reasons for that redactment, because there are 9 exemptions to the law in concerning FOIA requests. But my concern is, why was there a need for redactment since it was already public notice? Maybe there's something I don't understand. But one of the bigger issues I've got was when I looked at the accounts receivable, accounts paid for the last quarter, up to and including August 7th. Request from the attorney for advice and action on the village attorney came to 58.25 hours. Now, this is for a quarter. And the total bill on those 58.25 hours was $9,499.90. Now, my question is, did the attorney now charge the village to go over these public records and redact this information? I'm kind of confused in why this process is, but even more confused as to why there are so many hours and so much money expended by the village, and me as a taxpayer, I hold the council and I hold the president accountable for the expenditure of funds. I know there's a budget line item for legal issues, but over one quarter, almost $10,000, I'm a little concerned about the budget that this village is expending in legal advice. Could things be done in-house without everything going? I'm concerned about that. Can you do nothing without having legal authorization? So I'm kind of concerned about this as a taxpayer. Almost $10,000 for a quarter. So what's going to happen next quarter?
Gone over 3.
Thank you. My time is up, and I appreciate that.
All right, thank you. Okay, this time I have no other comments, so this time it's open for council comment. Seeing none?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
June 23rd meeting. I asked on one of
Can you
the,
speak up, please?
sure, at the June 23rd meeting for the AP for Z Solutions, I had asked with Jessica what the $1,200 and change was for. I was told a desktop, a laptop, and a docking station. Do you remember that? Jessica said she was having some glitches with her tower, which left me with more questions. Why didn't we just purchase a new tower? Why a desktop and a docking station? knowing some of the programs, she needs both screens to look at, hence the tower. A couple of days later, I go in, same desk, didn't see a laptop, didn't see a docking station. A week later, I stopped into the office. I was having problems with my computer. I had to take a survey. I asked Carolyn if I could use the village laptop. I would stand at the desk or at the counter and use the laptop. She informed me that Jessica had it. Right, well, Jessica had scheduled time off. Fine. Last I had remembered, Sam, and you were sitting right here next to me as President Pro Tem, there was not to be any employee working from home. That was an adamant no from, I do believe, all of us. What changed? Is the desktop, has that been returned to the village? Is the docking station returned to the village? Is the laptop returned to the village? That is village property. So you're not gonna answer me either.
Well, you asked about 15 questions there, so.
Okay.
Where do you want me to start?
When was it allowed that she could work from home?
I grant that on a case-by-case basis.
Okay. Okay. Without council needing to be involved? Okay. Okay. What about the laptop, desktop, and docking station? That was for her purpose to work from home?
In times when there would need to be a case for that, yes.
Okay.
And Jessica and I have talked about it, of having that as a utility for taking minutes up here.
Okay.
Because it's very time consuming to take minutes by hand and then spend time in the office putting those into the computer.
Okay. So now are you saying we are gonna have to buy a new tower? Because she says she has glitches.
As far as I know, everything's been addressed with our IT provider.
I see.
Was there a bid on that equipment?
So, do you have anything else?
Yeah, is there a bid on the equipment?
So, do you expect our IT vendor to work on equipment that they're not providing?
Well, I'm expecting, you know, there was never an open bid for even IT. It was just, Josh, you can help us out with that.
No,
There were no 3 bids put in, Sam. I've been here long enough.
we did put that out to bid.
Oh, didn't we?
Z Solutions was the cheapest.
Oh, what were the 2 other bids?
I don't remember, those was years ago. And
Oh,
that contract,
I've been here 2.5 years.
auto renews unless either party chooses not to.
Oh, I see. I see.
Pretty standard for most contracts.
This is why I asked you several months ago, you know, or Josh, several months ago, about when is his contract up? And he stated he really doesn't have a contract. It was just, Josh, you can help us out with that. That's how it went. Because remember, I was coming to the meetings before I was appointed on council.
So that was years ago. when there
About 3
probably-
years, yeah, about
And
3
there
years.
probably wasn't a contract because the IT Right, who the village used to contract with, we were not getting fast enough service for. And luckily, we have an IT solution provider in town who is available to help us.
Okay, so when this comes up towards the end of the year, we are going to have 3 sealed bids.
If you want to go get bids, you're
Sure.
more than welcome to do that.
I will do that. I will do that.
But you do realize that our current provider gives us an extraordinary discount. There's no way that, if you want to, you're more than welcome to.
You know, not when we had phones that were $105 and then all of a sudden we've got phones going through Z Solution that are over $170. That's a bit more money. I mean, if the girls can't put anything out on a website, it's gotta go to Z Solutions. Okay, come on,
Can I ask you a question, Deborah?
sure.
What's your problem with Z Solutions?
I think there is a conflict of interest. I think it has been, I think Z Solutions, with Josh Rocky being the DDA, owner of Z Solutions, I think it has integrated into the village business a bit too much. It should be two separate entities. It should be DDA and it should be the village, not a combination of both.
May I ask a question?
Hang on. Do you know how DDAs work? Because clearly you don't. DDAs are a subset of the village. They are literally an entity within the village government.
I understand that.
I don't think you do.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Because you're just saying that they should be completely separate things when legally they can't be.
So, well, then why don't we have DDA just join council?
You can't. That's literally within the MCL of how DDAs are structured.
Okay? That's not my understanding of the reading of it, but I digress. I'll go back and I will reread. And I will try and get more clarification on that.
May I ask a question?
Absolutely.
What kind of examples do you have for conflict of interest? If there are so many that you feel that it's necessary to bring this up, what kind of examples do you have?
Well, you know, the phone systems in itself, we have phones that was costing us $105 a month. Now we're paying over $170 a month. I have had residents tell me on our website, they're posting comments. They go back, the comments are gone, and they did not remove them. When we had posted for jobs downstairs to fill a vacancy, the fiance was originally thought of, then she withdrew. Now we have the mother of the employee. I'm very uncomfortable with it. Our girls cannot post on our village website. It's gotta go through the IT department.
Most places are
Really?
like
Isn't
that.
this part of their job, Sandra, to do this?
I don't
No,
believe
it's
so.
actually not.
Okay, that's my concerns. That's my concerns.
Okay. Any other comments from the council this evening?
I have a little bit of a problem, I don't know if it's a problem, but I was told a while back that the village equipment couldn't go home with employees. So for an employee to do their job from at home with all my personal information, I don't know if I'm comfortable with that.
Okay.
I mean, there was a ruling made, and supposedly you all agreed on that. And now, behind closed doors, it's been allowed for Jessica to go do this at home when she's sick or on vacation or whatever. There's nobody else a backup
Do you have,
person.
are you able to cite a specific reference or a vote that was made on that?
No, I can't because I wasn't paying attention to the village back then, Sam. But you
No,
just said,
I'm
you just
legitimately
said,
curious.
I mean, the two of you in your conversation, you agreed that that was voted on at one time, that no village equipment was to go home, or it could no longer go home,
So that would have been done under Brad's leadership.
okay?
I do not recall a specific vote or how I personally voted or felt about it at the time. I'm more than happy to go back through the minutes and try to find that vote if one exists. And by all means, if there was one and we need to relook at that, I'm more than happy to do it.
But you just agreed with her that it was voted on and it was agreed that personal property wouldn't go home.
I know Brad had an issue with it.
Okay, so if it was agreed on, voted on, it was rule. Now you've decided that it's okay for her to do it without talking to the rest of the people.
So it sounds like, probably on our next meeting's agenda, there probably ought to be a vote or a resolution formalizing that, one way or the other. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay. Any other comments? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn at 6:43 PM.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you everybody for coming.
There you go. I quit trying.